we do a training, we worry about, is this going to resonate with the account execs? Are they going to kind of grab it and run with it? And what I found with this one is, for the first time, right out of the starting box, they started thinking about things differently. We have one-on-ones with them. They talk about how they're going to approach accounts differently, how they're going to start the conversation, as opposed to going in and just start talking. They're going to start asking questions, make it more persuasive, talk about, make it a back and forth, which they felt like they weren't doing before.
I think what sort of sets Blue Cross Blue Shield apart is that we are innovative and we take creative approaches. I think that sometimes gets lost in a conversation because, as you've mentioned in the training, there's a lot of preparation that goes into presentations. Conversations are really sort of off the cuff. For myself, the training has sort of forced me to think more about conversations in advance. So I go into conversations with frames and concepts sort of at the ready. I have been using frames and analogies that I sort of just have come up with in your trainings and after. And I have been able to apply them a couple of times. And I think that it just gives cohesion to the conversation, and it makes you look like you've given thought to what you're talking about prior to having the conversation.
So we had the presentation training, and then we also had the conversation training. And in sales, it's more conversational versus presentation. Very different tools I took out of both of those workshops. I'd say it was key with the conversation because on a daily basis, we're communicating with our key brokers either through email or through phone dialogue. And they really taught me to think outside the box when I'm having these conversations and how very different it is from a presentation.
So when I think about what they're doing differently after the training, I think they're taking the time to really think about what it is they're presenting, how they're presenting it, and they're formulating that story more in their head before they go out there. They're practicing it, but also understand that the meeting's going to be fluid. And so while they have that story in their head, depending on the feedback they get from the customer, as that conversation's going back and forth, they're understanding the importance of being prepared to be able to pivot mid-conversation and take it the direction the customer wants to go. So for new business, when we're talking Blue Cross to our customers, we have a great story to tell. And I think for us, there's so much to tell that it really helped us to understand what was important and how to deliver that message to help it be as effective as it can be to ultimately win the customer.